So everybody take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. And one more deep breath in and exhale. And this morning, let's take a little guided meditation. We're going to take a little walk. And we're going to take a walk in our imagination. And just know that the things that you experience in your imagination are powerful. The imagination is one of the tools by which Spirit communicates with us, gives us guidance and understanding. So allow yourself to take yourself into a garden. As you're walking in the garden, there's all kinds of flowers. There are flowers that prefer the shade and they're under some tall trees. And there's flowers that prefer the sun. They're in the sunshine. And you see that the garden is very well kept. Not a weed in sight. And as you wander through this garden, it takes you from this place to another, following the garden path. And you come across a little flower that seems to be struggling. It's not blooming. Everything else is blooming, but this one is not. And you look around, and you notice that the tree is overhanging, and this particular flower needs sunshine. So you notice that there's a toolbox there, a toolkit, a bucket of tools, if you will. Find the pruning shears and trim back that tree. Just cut it back. And with your imagination, as we're walking in this place of imagination, it requires no effort. Unlike real gardening that requires some effort. This is the effortless. Just trim back that tree. And oh, there's light shining on this beautiful little plant now. It seems to perk up a bit. And there's a water fountain nearby and a bucket. So go to the water fountain and fill your bucket with water. Only this is not really water, this is light. It's a fountain of light. And you can fill your bucket with this sparkling energy and carry it to this little plant. And pour it onto this plant. Pour it all over the leaves, and so it flows over this plant and into the plant, into the ground. And you notice that the roots are even receiving this and drawing up this nourishment. And the plant seems healthier than you've ever seen it. It's bright now. The leaves are not curled up, but they're open. And look, there's a tiny little bud. But you know it needs something else. Oh, you remember. It needs kind words spoken to it. Plants thrive when we speak to them. So that you know in your heart what this little plant needs to hear. Perhaps it needs to hear, you're loved. Perhaps it needs to hear, you can do it, you can bloom. Perhaps it needs to hear, I'm here. Perhaps it needs to hear, I'll be back. I'll make sure you get plenty of this light energy. You'll know in your heart what is right for you to say to this plant. So in your imagination, speak to this plant. Feel the energy coming from your heart space, flowing out of your mouth, and onto that plant, and see that plant absorb that. And as that plant absorbs that, its little bud matures, blooms, and unfurls and opens into the most beautiful flower you have ever seen. And you realize this flower may have, the color of this flower, or the kind of flower that it is, may have spiritual significance for you. Receive that at this time. Know that even if you don't know exactly what it means, know that your soul does. Know that you are gifted with this blooming and this expression and this beautiful fragrance from this flower, because it is just right and just what your soul needs in this moment. And as you're beholding this plant, you feel this fondness and this loving compassion emerging from your heart, and you feel this nourishing that plant. And behold, another bloom opens. And this time as that bloom opens, there's a gift in here for you. Perhaps it's just a feeling or a thought or an awareness that you awaken to. Or perhaps it's a tiny symbolic object held within the folds of the petals of this plant. Receive this gift with deep gratitude. And know that this is a gift for your soul. Just what your soul needs in this moment. Receive it with deep gratitude. And because you're feeling such wonderful gratitude, you decide to leave the gift here. You've already given the gift of watering and the gift of clearing. Maybe there's some other gift you'd like to leave, some symbolic object. Maybe it's a pebble. Maybe it's a companion flower. Or some other symbolic object. Whatever you experience is what is right for you and has spiritual impact for you in this moment. So bestow your gift, even if it's a word, whatever feels right to you. And know that your gift is received with tenderness and delight. And allow yourself to speak your final words to this plant. You can tell it you'll be back. You can come back here at any time and check in on this plant. And allow yourself to wander back through the garden, past the fountain of light, past the other energy gardens, other flowers, and allow yourself to find your way back into this time and space, back into this room. You might want to take a deep breath in and exhale, stretch your fingers, wiggle your toes, and welcome back. And we have like 5 minutes. I could do a couple of interpretations if somebody had a question. Well, I'll be fast.
I received a blue pansy.
A blue pansy? Pansies, I don't have a book of flowers. I wish I did, but you might want to look that up later online as to the energetic structure of the pansy. But the blue is about communication.
Okay.
And what did you give?
It was a square, like a square of something. I couldn't tell what it was.
Okay, so you can ask more about that later. This could be safe boundaries. It could be structure.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Over here. Would you pass that down, please? Yes, sir?
My flower was a water lily.
A water lily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this gives you the abilities to stay above other people's emotions, to write it out, because they plant their roots deep. So you're a very deep-hearted person, as we've seen today. But this also gives you the ability to stay on the surface, stay above. You're not going to drown. I know you also scuba dive, so you're not going to drown. Good news. But this they're beautiful, and they stand up above the water. And they're so fragrant and they're beautiful. So this gives you the ability to rise above situations and to bless others with the ability to help them get above stressful situations. Does that make sense to you? Nicholas has a question too.
Yeah, and
what did you give? I'm sorry.
It was calmness.
Calmness?
Calmness.
And that's how you help people stay grounded and rooted in their situation and rise above a problem. Very good. Very good. Yes, sir.
My flower was a rose.
Rose. What color was your rose?
Purple.
Purple. Okay, purple is about divine connection. So this is letting you know that you're connected to God. Beautiful thing. What gift did you receive?
Love.
Can't get any better than that. What did you give? Did you give a gift back?
Mm-hmm.
And what was that?
My other gift was kindness.
Kindness. And that's how you manifest love. Well done. Good job. Thank you. Anybody else? There's one across the way. Can you pass the microphone over? Thank you for sharing that.
Mine was an isolated weeping.
Okay,
It's me.
can you come up here?
Oh, sure.
Might want to tuck the microphone down as you walk past the speaker. Get a little bit of feedback loop right there. Sorry.
Mine was a lonely weeping daisy, yellow. And before you said it, I had transplanted it where it was amongst more flowers. And then all of a sudden, all sorts of beautiful yellow daisies came. And I gave friendship, and I received a diamond.
All right, so let's look at that. So in your business as a life coach, you help people change where they came from, reframe where they came from, and you help them plant in fertile soil, and you give them friendship, perfectly well said, and you help them really grow and be where they need to be. Does that make sense to you? And the diamond is this refracted cut. It's cut so it refracts the light. So this is your willingness to be the light in whatever way they need so they can find themselves. Does that make sense to you? One more? Sure. Anybody else? One more. Anything else? Oh, we're good. Okay, you can always see me after church. Mr. Phil, you have a closing song, my beloved.